Great. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Timothy Lee, and I'm a mining analyst here at Red Cloud Securities. We welcome Jose Garcia, CEO of SilverX. SilverX is a new company created through a merger, and it is an emerging and growing silver producer with a focus on Peru. Jose, you have 15 minutes, and then we'll have a 5-minute Q&A at the end of the session. Attendees, please feel free to ask questions using the Q&A link below. Take it away, Jose.
Thank you, Tim, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending our presentation. We are SilverX. In the next few hours or next day or so, SilverX is a new company on the Toronto Stock Exchange. It's a combination of AutoX, a Canadian company with all exploration assets in Peru, and Latitude Silver, a company that was founded 4 years ago on the Nueva Recuperada district in central Peru that is in production, that is in development. And it's a combination that provides outstanding features to our investors, which is basically a prime access to capital, and also a company that is in full development in Peru as we speak. The closing of the transaction happens tomorrow and will be trading within the next few days, hopefully. We started this company with a clear vision. First, we have sustainable development in our DNA, because since the beginning of our work in central Peru, we very much aligned with our communities to make sure that our growth was sustainable. But the mission we have is to actually consolidate and to develop undervalued assets. We are looking at districts that were overlooked in the past. We're given a new view, a new energy, especially from exploration and mining. And we have the vision to become a mid-tier silver producer in Latin America. We are in Peru, and we plan to expand throughout the continent. There is some facts here. Today, we are building a mine, we are drilling, we are doing lots of exploration. And in building that mine, we're actually feeding a plant that's 600 tons a day. We are a company that is processing ore. We're actually selling concentrates. We're about break even. We're using our money to grow, not to pay for any overheads. We own a district, and a district that has more than 7 million tons of an inferred resource in very good grades. And we have a huge potential for resource increase over the next few months. We see the district going much bigger than it is. So in the next few years, provided we have the exploration results that we anticipate, we see the overall throughput of the district in excess of 2,500 tons a day, becoming one of the next sort of large polymetallic districts in the country. The team that we have as leadership is the combination of the two companies, AutoX and Latitude Silver. I am pleased to lead that executive team in Lima. And we also are surrounded by a number of professionals of outstanding quality. We are all based in Lima, with the exception of our CFO, who is in Vancouver. And actually allows us to be delivering on everything we say on the ground. We're extremely hands-on, and we've been building the company from scratch. And in this combination with AutoX, we actually bring top people. We bring Luis Zapata, we income him. He's the incoming chairman. He's both Peruvian and Canadian, and bankers. He's a banker of really good experience across Latin America. We have Daryl Cardi in Vancouver, Mike Hoffman in Toronto, former chair of Trevally, Nick Rowell in Australia. And we also have with us the very renowned Paul Matisek that you all know from many other ventures. And this is nothing but the track record that these people bring to our team, which is a number of extremely successful mining plays over the last 13 years, recently with AutoX in the Guyana. So SilverX is going to be the next one over there. And we really see this company growing very, very fast. But let's talk about our portfolio, because with the merger of the two companies, we have a full-fledged district. That's Nueva Recuperada in central Peru. It's a massive epithermal system with silver, lead, and zinc grades. And we also have Coriorco and Las Santas, which is a gold, a low sulfidation gold exploration target in southern Peru. Let's talk about our premier silver district. That's Nueva Recuperada. Nueva stands for new, because it's a new approach, it's a new way of looking at it. And we actually have done it, as I said at the beginning, with a very solid view on sustainable development. Okay, we believe in that, and we believe that growing a company like we've done from scratch actually had its foundation on that. Working with our communities, we've managed to consolidate a district of certain proportions. We own more than 15,000 hectares. We actually have a resource of more than 7 million tons, and we executed a number of transactions with Buenaventura Mining Company, with Pan American Silver, with Peruvian Metal. So we actually put together several pieces that were disconnected, and now we have a really company maker. And it's something you need to keep in mind. Nueva Recuperada as a district is a company maker and is nothing but the cornerstone to this company. Is going to grow very, very fast. Our geology is very interesting. We fell in love with the district since the first minute we were there. And basically we have this combination of, let's say, epithermal veins with very high grade of silver and polymetalls, and also some other targets, which might include actually carbonate replacement deposit, skarns, and of course, porphyry system targets as well. Within our district, we have three main areas, or three projects. Tangana, which is the north of the district. Those veins actually are very long on a strike. It's an impressive district. It's a bunch of veins all together going from 2 to 4 kilometers. Occasionally, they are wider than 2 meters. And actually, all together is a system, as I said, of certain proportion. At the moment, we are both drilling and mining. We started the bulk sample about a year ago, actually. We obviously suffered from COVID a little bit, but now we are producing sufficient material to feed our plant, which is a 600 tons a day operation. In the meantime, we are drilling consistently. Since January, we have 2 drill rigs on site, and the third is about to come. Okay. Also, once we have activated the entire district or the area of Tangana, we're gonna start working on Esperanza, which is the southern end of the district, which is another system equally big as Tangana. It's a bunch of veins you can see on the map. You can see all these red lines that were partly mined in the past at a very modest scale. And again, with Esperanza, this is going to be the first time perhaps that the company is going to give a very holistic view to it. Okay. And Maria Luz, last but not least, is our silver or primary silver target. It's smaller in tonnage, but brings much higher grades. Going to be drilling that very, very soon in next quarter. And I can guarantee you that we're going to be given a very good series of news from Maria Luz as well. So just keep this in mind. Everything is happening at the moment. The drill rigs are turning, production is happening, and all the exciting things is about to begin within the next few weeks. This slide aims to show you what's happening in 2021. To the left-hand side, you've got the mine planning for this year that's being executed, okay? So it's all reality. And to the right-hand side, you see an aerial view of this part of the district. It's a bunch of veins, occasionally like San Antonio. They are very long, 2 kilometers on a strike, and they actually go beyond the volcanic rocks and the carbonate rocks. So it's pretty impressive. But also that vein is surrounded by many others. And again, we're gonna give a holistic view to it, both from exploration and from mining. We have committed ourselves to put 30,000 meters of drilling as of day 1, which is basically next week. Let's say for the next 12 months, so the second half of 2021 and the first half of 2022, gonna be putting a lot of drilling. 30,000 meters is a lot of drilling for this kind of project. Why is that? Because not only we are certain about the value of exploration, but we're actually gonna be converting much of our inferred resource into measured and indicated, and also gonna be doing new discoveries, as I said, CRDs or skarns underneath our veins. 2 things you have to keep in mind, not only that we are in production, we have subvertical veins, they are fully mechanized, more than 2 meters. We actually produce at a very competitive cost. We're in a very good social status, and we are producing 2 concentrates, silver and lead, and zinc concentrates. We are selling both to Trafigura, who is our partner for the last couple of years. And beyond talking about this sort of 3D view of the area, which I want you to understand 2 things. We are looking at veins, drilling and mining veins that are kind of all together. They are going to be bundled. They are going to be put under the same infrastructure. We are building a mine for the long term, okay? And more importantly, there is sufficient tonnage to doing so. Also, we're in a very hilly part of Peru, as you can imagine. So mine development, or let's say mine capex, is relatively modest because we have a full-fledged plant is operating. We have infrastructure, we have a mine, and actually most of the development of the mine is going to happen upwards, so above the ground, as we are in a hilly part of the country. We started to process ore more than a year ago. Obviously, during COVID times, it was difficult, but towards the end of the year, we actually managed to get to full capacity. The plant remains mostly at full capacity. The mine is being developed very nicely. And now that obviously we have finally done the fundraising, we are going to deploy money not only on exploration, but also on facilities and on the mine development. So we anticipate a much better performance over the next few months as well. So as a summary on Nueva Recuperada, we are a 600 tons a day mine. We're going to evolve very quickly. We are looking at different scenarios, expanding the mine with expansions at the plant and potentially all sorting. We want to go beyond the 2 million ounces of equivalent ounces of silver by 2022. And the Tangana project itself is sufficient to justify all of that. Remember, 30,000 meters of drilling this year, and also the opportunity to consolidate further properties around the district. And now in the merger with AutoX, we also bring a very interesting gold target, which is called Coriorco. It's in Ayacucho, South Huancavelica, where we are. And Coriorco is a low sulfidation target. It's a system of veins with very good grades on surface. As you can see, consistently around 15 to 20 grams of gold. It's also in the right part of the country, in San Juan de Lucanas. There's lots of very interesting projects around that. And we also believe going to be able to consolidate for the property. And the project is drill ready. We are ready to drill in 2022. We have community agreements in place. And actually next to the Coriorco targets, you can see a couple of veins there on that picture that were mined in the past by artisanal miners. We have a dome target. So let's say potential disseminated target. Gonna do some IP geophysics, gonna do drilling in 2022. Again, Coriorco and La Santa's gold targets will contribute to the very nice flow of news that we'll have over 2022, okay? So that's our portfolio. I think it's a pretty interesting portfolio. Remember, we're a junior company that is drilling a lot, that is producing above break-even. All money goes into actually creating value. And we're actually positioned as one of the very few companies that can say that at the moment, if not the only one, at least in the country. So just I'm going to give you some highlights about the company. Obviously, we're going to be in the beginning quite undervalued. We are going out of the gate at the 60 cents, basically just below 70 million Canadian. We believe that's, compared to our peers, a very attractive price. Why is that? Because basically when you compare ourselves with, you can see the screen there, you can see Kuya Silver, you can see obviously Silver Viper, Golden Tag, and things like that. We still have a long way to go. And when you look at our resource, okay, that actually supports that notion. We have more than 60 million ounces of silver equivalent, okay, that are going to allow us to grow quite fast. But look at sort of the ratio of, or let's say, valuation per ounce of silver. We are trading below $1 per ounce, which is, again, very modest. Don't forget also that we're going to be having an EBITDA. So within the 12 months as of going public, we expect to have an EBITDA in the neighborhood of 10 million US, okay? So when you look at the enterprise value per EBITDA, we're again supporting the notion that we are trading at a very modest price, okay? So again, don't forget SilverX, follow us the next few days. We'll be trading, okay? We're gonna be making very positive noise over the next few weeks, production, exploration, expanding the district, and hopefully also expanding the company beyond our current assets. With that, I'm about to finish. I just wanted to let you leave you with a very brief video showing what we are doing on the ground. Is the words of our executive chairman, Luis Zapata.
I think in Peru, like in any other mining jurisdiction, you need to operate in a socially responsible way, not only with the communities, but really through having sustainable mining practices. I think that's really one of the key things and something that Recuperada has striven to do since it's been back into production in 2017. You know, we're actually delivering on what we promised to do. The mine is in production, the district is being explored, but more importantly, I think we really all strive to work as a team, have the same goals, not only for the company, but for the community where we operate. We're in the right location, we have the right team, the right access to capital, and I think that's a key combination to have a successful company in this space.
That's it, team. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very much, Jose, for the presentation. And now we will begin the Q&A portion of the presentation. One quick question here is the different targets in the mine area, Tangana, San Antonio, and Maria Luz seem to have different metallurgies as far as amount of silver versus amount of lead and zinc. Will that impact the plant? Are they able to blend and will they have the same metallurgical process?
Actually, most of the district is hosted, or let's say most of the silver and polymetallic ore is relatively similar. For instance, in San Antonio, we've got galena with silver, and we also have sphalerite. So the metallurgy is rather simple, or let's say rather standard. In the overall, or the broader area of Tangana, there is areas where it brings some gold. We actually have identified high sulfidation areas around our veins. So it's basically disseminated gold that comes around the veins and it's extremely value accretive. But the metallurgy remains the same. It's basically relatively standard flotation processes. With Maria Luz, it might change a little because those very high grade of silver tend to be held in different of mineral species. In this case, sulfur salts, which is like friburgite, rhodochrosite, and things like that. So when we process that ore in the future, we'll have to take a closer look to that sort of metallurgy. But the rest of it is a very standard metallurgy.
Great. And looking at the plant ramp up from 600 tons a day to 1,200 and production up, what challenges do you see, or what work do you have to do to accomplish the ramp up?
The most important ingredient for this is always the resource, right? As long as we have a proper resource, we grow production relatively easy, right? So we're working heavily on that. And we have the confidence that we are going to get that very, very soon. In terms of the plant capacity and permitting, the plant actually has 600 tons a day capacity, or let's say that's a permit. Actually can do a lot more than that, but we're going to get the permit to expand to 720 very quickly. And just 2 months ago, we started a new environmental impact assessment that will allow the company to go up to 2,500. So we're going to get ready for that. But in the meantime, we've actually done is something that we can't show yet, but we've done ore sorting test, okay, proving the case that we can actually double up the head grade of our operations. So we're going to be looking at every option to increase the throughput within the next 12 months.
Great. And inevitably, we have a question on the political side, but what impact does the recent election have on the company?
Well, obviously, everyone is concerned about the situation because we had an election that is not resolved yet, and that creates a level of anxiety in the country and also a level of concerns to our investors or the international community. Peru is a country that is not the first time that goes through a crisis. I believe that the country is going to go well through this. Whoever wins, the mining industry will remain as the most sort of, or let's say the most important engine of the economy. Okay, don't forget that. The Congress, whoever wins, will never have a majority. So there's going to be a level of consensus in the country. And the international community, or better to say, the investors community, might have some concerns now that I think are going to be over rather soon. As soon as they see that nothing has changed in the country, they'll, the confidence will get back.
Great. And I guess kind of in summary, obviously just getting listed now and kind of quite a bit of activity on that side of things. But then what news, kind of in summary, what news would we look for from the company over the coming weeks?
Well, the first news release will actually be an update on the overall geology and what's about to happen, right? I think it's good to refresh our investors' minds, right? Occasionally, I'm gonna show the potential over the next few months with all the activity that is happening on site. Gonna see very good drilling outcome, both in terms of tonnage, proving the veins on a strike, and also at depth. Also gonna see news releases on the new targets. I mentioned high sulfidation disseminated gold, and I also mentioned the so-called scans and/or CRDs, or carbon replacement deposits. Okay, we've already identified that. Gonna be drilling that as well. You are going to see corporate activity as well. I just mentioned the new environmental impact assessment, and we've also mentioned potential acquisitions as well. I think we're going to be a company that's going to have a very interesting flow again.
Great. All right. Well, thank you very much, Jose, for the presentation today and an introduction to SilverX.
Follow us. The next couple of weeks, we should be training. It's going to be fun. Keep an eye on us, please.
Great.